Episode 1 of Peacemaker Season 2 is a pretty good start to the season. It picks up on the main story and character beats of the first season, although it is still noticeably different. This first episode, at least to me, felt quite a bit tonally darker, and I felt like I was missing some of that trademark Peacemaker humor. Don't get me wrong, there were some funny moments, but it felt overall a lot more serious in tone. What this episode does extraordinarily well is reintroduce us to the characters that we haven't seen in a while. In the first scene that we see of these characters, we pretty much immediately are aware of everything that's going on in their life, and we can see the struggles that they will face in the season. The best example of this is with Harcourt, who we get to see diagnosed with toxic masculinity, hilarious, and then rejected from her job at Argus. This 2-minute introduction allows us to know that she is a deeply angry individual who has been targeted by others for things that are not her fault, and she is completely lacking purpose. This is extremely efficient character introduction work, and I, for one, am interested to see where they're going to go with this development. Peacemaker is also in a similar boat, where he's feeling directionless. Not only does this episode make that clear by pairing him with Harcourt, but he also is clearly lacking purpose. He's in his dad's place, representing the overcoming of him as a force of his life, and he's being rejected as a superhero by Lord and the Justice Gang. He doesn't know what to do with his life. He tries his classic methods of escapism like alcohol, drugs, and sex, but it's just not cutting it for him. This is when he goes for the more literal escapism, going into the other seemingly perfect world, where he can see what life would have been like if things had just been a little bit different. In this world, he has a loving family, universal praise as a hero, and a job where he saves lives. How this conflict is resolved will have to be delicate, but I have faith that they will do it well. As for the cons, I only really have a couple of complaints. Firstly, I understand what they were trying to do with the orgy scene, but it felt gratuitous. To me, at least. I feel like they could have shown that differently in terms of Peacemaker's escapism, but it's really just a minor complaint. I also feel like I haven't really gotten nearly enough of Vigilante, although he didn't show up in the first episode of Season 1 either, so I'll just have to wait and see. Overall, this episode is pretty solid, but it's a lot of setup, so I'll have to sit tight and wait for the resolution. I'm gonna give it a 7.7 out of 10.